How's it going, everyone? I'm Landan with LMR.com. In this video, we're going to quickly talk about our 5.0 Resto lock sets designed for 1979 to 1993 Fox Mustangs. And then we're going to run you through the installation steps using our 1990 Mustang GT. First things first, if you find value in our videos, please go ahead and give this one a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more Fox Mustang content, and be sure those notifications are turned on. That way you're notified every time we release something new. So these lock sets I have here are currently available with either a black or machine bezel, and they're going to be a premium replacement for your 1979 to 1993 Fox Mustang. Now in the box is going to be a driver and passenger side lock cylinder, a hatch or trunk lock cylinder, a glove box lock cylinder for 87 to 93 cars, 2 factory looking keys, 3 new gaskets, 3 new retaining clips, and an extension rod for the hatch or trunk lock cylinder. Now you will have to remove the door panels to install the driver and passenger side door lock cylinders, and if you want to see how this is done on 81 to 86 and 87 to 93 Fox Mustangs, check out those dedicated videos in the description. With the door panel removed, look inside of the door frame and locate the arm on the lock cylinder. Gently remove the rod from the arm and let it rest out of the way. Use a pry tool and a microfiber towel to protect the paint, and then work the lock cylinder retainer back and forth toward the rear of the door until it's removed. Push the cylinder away from the door from the inside and then remove it from the car. Go ahead and clean this area. Locate the correct lock cylinder from the kit. Make note of the arm direction on the cylinder and match the new cylinder to the old one. Install the gasket over the cylinder with the lip side facing towards the bezel. Be sure to align the grooves in the gasket with the cylinder housing. Position the new lock cylinder into place. Push in on the cylinder and install the new retainer in the factory orientation. If needed, fully seat the retainer with a small dead blow. Just be careful you don't hit the surrounding area. Reinstall the rod into the arm and then check for operation. Now you can reinstall the door panel and then do the same for the other side. Moving to the rear of the car now. Open either the hatch or the trunk. Drill out the factory rivet with an 1/8 inch drill bit, and as you can see here, the rivet was missing from this car. Use the pry tool and microfiber towel again to dislodge the retainer. Carefully depress the small tab on the retainer to fully remove it, and then remove it from the car. On hatchback models, use a small flathead screwdriver and pass it through the rectangular opening where the retainer was. Carefully pry against the lock cylinder to move it back so you can grab it with your fingers and remove it from the car. Coupe and convertible models will be a little bit different. You'll want to loosen and remove the 3 7/16 bolts securing the latch and the lock cylinder bracket. Maneuver the latch out of the trunk and then disconnect the electrical connection if equipped. Set the latch aside. There's going to be another retainer securing the lock cylinder in place. You'll want to brace the face of the lock cylinder with your free hand and use a pry tool to work the retainer back and forth in an upward motion to dislodge it. Remove it from the car, followed by the bracket. Now you can remove the lock cylinder from the trunk. With the old cylinder on a workbench, lift up on the tailpiece extension to remove it from the housing. For hatchbacks, use the existing rod as a template and place a mark on the new extension rod. You can go ahead and cut this to length and then file it down. Install the new extension rod into the new cylinder. For coupe and convertibles, make note of the bend and the length. You want to add a bend first to the new extension rod, cut it to length, and file it down. Since we'll be reusing the exterior retainer, use this time and file down the 2 shoulders on the new lock cylinder. This will allow the existing retainer to properly engage. Test fit the lock cylinder and the retainer and file down the shoulders a little bit more if it's needed. Install the gasket over the cylinder with the lip side facing towards the bezel. Of course, be sure to align the grooves in the gasket with the cylinder housing. Wipe down the hatch or trunk area and then install the new cylinder. On hatchback, this one's easy. Install the new lock cylinder and verify that the rod passes through the plastic bushing in the latch. For coupe convertibles, install the new lock cylinder into the trunk. Reinstall the bracket in the correct orientation, followed by the interior retainer. Reposition the latch and reconnect the electrical connection if equipped. Verify the rod passes through the plastic bushing in the latch. Align the latch with the previous marks and tighten the bolts. We chose to install a new retainer gasket from LMR.com and reuse the factory retainer. Fully seat the retainer and then install a 3 30-second rivet to secure the retainer, and then check for operation. Close the hatch or trunk, and then now we can jump over to the glove box. If you own a 1979 to 1986 Fox Mustang, you can skip this step since the included glove box lock cylinder will only work with 87 and 93 cars. First, loosen and remove the two 7mm screws, securing the glove box door hinges to the bottom of the dash. Open the glove box door and then remove it from the car. On a workbench, loosen and remove the 6 Phillips head screws, securing the door to the box. Set the door face down and remove the 2 Phillips head screws securing the latch assembly. As you can see on this car, one of ours was missing. With the latch in the unlocked position, rotate the latch until you can visually see the last tumbler. Push this down with a small flathead screwdriver while pulling out on the cylinder. Install the new glove box cylinder in the same orientation until it locks into place. Check for operation, and then reinstall the door back onto the box. Then you can reinstall the assembly back into the car. You can check over your work one more time, and then after that, you're good to go. All right, people, so wrapping things up here. Replacing the lock cylinders in a Fox Mustang is pretty darn straightforward. And if you've been around the channel for a while now, then y'all know I really enjoy the restoration aspect of fixing these cars. And this 5.0 Resto lock cylinder set that we installed into our 1990 GT, it's another thing we can check off the list. As always, for the most up-to-date product information, pricing, and availability on anything in the video, please reference the video description or the website. We're gonna sign off for the day, so y'all know what to do. Until next time, for all things Fox Body Mustang, keep it right here with the real enthusiasts, LMR.com.